Okay, Joshua, it's time for your profile review. I haven't looked at your profile. I may have looked at it in the past, but I haven't looked at it recently. So, what I like to do is get a first impression because, as you know, as a copywriter and direct marketer, first impressions are everything. So, I teach people that the LinkedIn profile is like a Google ad, or it's really like your website. You got to make that strong first impression, and if you don't make that impression, they're going to be gone within 2 seconds. So let's take a look. Here we go. Okay, the first thing I notice is, besides this annoying pop-up, good picture. You may want to zoom in a little more. I think it's important to get your face, a smiling face, a really professional headshot makes that first impression. Because we've seen those eye tracking studies where do your eyes go first? Top left corner. Then they kind of scan over to the right a little bit and down like that F pattern. I'm sure you've seen those. But here, I like that you don't have a lot of stuff after your name. A lot of people stuff keywords in there because it helps with ranking, but it's not professional, so this is good. Profit acceleration through workshops and individual coaching, and you have persuasive communication that drives action. I like that. That's different than most people's. Most people have their job title or a bunch of keywords stuffed in there. What I would do is pick one, think single-minded focus. Like when I switched mine to America's leading LinkedIn coach, it just made a tremendous difference. I had a bunch of different keyword phrases in there, trying to grab people's attention. When I switched to a single focus, just like you're writing an ad or a copywriting headline that's very focused, and it goes to a very focused landing page. So choose one of those and test it out and see which increases your profile views. So the next thing we want to look at, I like to peek at the contact info. You got your phone, good. Most people don't like to put their phone for some reason or their email address. They make it really hard for you to contact them, which is counterintuitive for LinkedIn. But here you got this fold out, good. You've put keywords in here, I like that. You've been reading my book and listening. So, just a typo here, communication and website for work. I would change that to something else because I like what you've got here. You've got good phrases here that are piquing my interest. So instead of work, make something compelling about your website, or profit acceleration, something like that. Go back to that kind of approach. But otherwise, looks good. You've grabbed your URL here, so that's looking good. For some reason, LinkedIn has tagged you as a partner, so I'll have to see that. Something I'll teach you later. I teach my clients how to tag their contacts so they can send them messages, but I'll get into that later in our webinar. So your summary. So what I like to do is start with a question. So if you find yourself stuck, here are 3 improvements to help you break free. I would start with that maybe. And then talk about your acceleration. You're talking about profit acceleration in your headline up here. So if you start profit acceleration through workshops and individual coaching, and then down here it says, if you find yourself stuck, here are 3 proven strategies to break free. My first thought again, what am I stuck? Why am I stuck? What part of my life am I stuck? Is it business, personal? And here are 3 proven strategies to break free from what? So maybe go into a little detail there, but I like the idea of asking a question there and then taking them on that. Here are 3 things that can help them. And then you're talking about, here's the 3 points. Are you making enough money to get new clients who already know, like, and trust you? So don't ask too many questions here, or if you do it in bullet point form, because you know more than anybody, people don't read anymore. We all scan, and bullet points grab their attention. So turn this into bullet points. And I like to actually get this up here too, near the top. If you're stuck, I'm here 3 points to break you free, and maybe get it up in here. It says, hey, if you want to talk right now, call me. And when you answer your phone, when people call you from LinkedIn, they're just blown away that you actually answer your own phone or email. So that's good. Maybe just get it up here above this one, above the bullet points. It'll be there. So here you're adding credibility. Good. So maybe, this might be better at the top too. This is kind of seems like an afterthought. But what I like to do too is tell my story, how I got into what I'm doing, why I'm so passionate about it. So you started talking about your experience here. Don't be afraid to expand a little further and tell your story, how you got to where you are. Share your story about your family. You have an incredible family too. So maybe touch on that, because that's going to build a huge connection with people when you tell your personal story. You know all this stuff. You're a copywriter. You're an expert. Okay, now we get into experience. This is where you talk about you. Your business you. So a trick here that very few people know is don't use president and CEO here, because this is a keyword hotspot for LinkedIn search results. So what I do is I take my current business and break it into 4 or 5 jobs within my company. Each one has specific keywords here. So you could say profit acceleration specialist, or what people would search Google for to find you. Copywriting expert. So go from that perspective. Think about that. So create 4 or 5 jobs within Joshua Boswell and Associates and use keyword phrases here. And then down here, you break out little, one paragraph about each job description that contains those keywords too. So it's just like SEO for your website. You got your headline, page title. Think of this as a page title on a website. You got your keyword phrase in there, and then you got your keyword phrases through here. And don't be afraid to add content in here, multimedia content. If you have checklists or YouTube videos for each job, so you can actually have content that people can click on and download and view. So here, older jobs, I kind of leave the same. You could even change that one, but for older jobs, I kind of leave those alone. Projects, good. We've got projects in here. So that's good. Credibility. Got your languages, excellent. Got your skills, excellent. So think of these two. These are terms people would search Google for. So think on terms of what's a longer term phrases too you can put in there, because what kind of, copywriting, what kind, if you have specific copywriting you do for niches, add those too, because that helps your search rankings in LinkedIn searches. Those people, they'll search for direct marketing or online advertising, but think longer term keyword phrases here. Excellent. Here you could add these interests up in your summary even. So think of that. I usually just do keyword phrases here. I think this might be excellent. This would be excellent in your summary, because a lot of times people don't get this far down. It's kind of way below the fold of your profile. So think keyword phrases here, personal hobbies, and some of your expertise. Loving your family and your children and people. That's huge. So get that up there where they can read it. Advice for content. There we go. This is good. Get your phone number in here. You got your website, you can do that. But get your phone number in here too. Tell people, call me. Put your Skype in there. However, people rarely do call it, so don't worry about being overwhelmed with people spamming you or emailing you. But it just makes it easier for people to contact you. So you got your recommendations. Good stuff. Got your connections. Good. I think it's fine for you to display your connections. If you're in a really competitive marketplace, you want to hide your contacts from your competitors, because your other salespeople you maybe worked with in the past, and now you work different places, you might be competing, you can steal each other's contacts. Display your groups. Good. I would join some more groups if these are the only ones you're in. Join all 50, because it expands your reach. And follow more companies too, because when you follow a company, it expands your reach too. The LinkedIn algorithm looks at all those factors and starts placing your profile in front of people that follow other companies. So if you wanted to maybe do copywriting for a large company, maybe like IBM, for example, if you follow IBM, LinkedIn associates you with IBM and starts placing you in front of people that are connected. They're also following IBM. So it's a great way to let the LinkedIn algorithm do a lot of work for you. But that's kind of my first impression. Good job. You're afraid for me to look at it, but I think you've done a great job. Obviously, you know what you're doing online and grabbing people's attention, but good job. Those few little tweaks will get you a long way. But this is what I'm talking about. People also viewed, the algorithm associates you based on your industry, what's in your profile, where you work, and you start showing up. I get about 40% of my profile views from this section right here. So expand your network. Don't be afraid to get, have 4,000 or 5,000 people in your network. And then down here, people similar to this also. People, LinkedIn algorithm associates you with these people. So if you're not connected with these people, start connecting with these kind of people too. Don't be afraid to connect with your peers and your competitors, because it just expands. The LinkedIn algorithm doesn't really know your competitors, so it'll start placing your profile in these sidebars. And then you have a compelling professional headline here. See, this guy's just president at KBM Group. Who cares? The John Carlton so what test. Who cares? But here, co-managed partner. These don't grab my attention. Bob Bly, direct response copywriter. He could do better than that. Grab people's attention there. Award-winning marketing strategist. What's your... You say it here, profit acceleration through workshops and individual coaching. That's going to show up over here on the sidebar and grab people's attention. And then we don't have anybody in common that we're connected with, but if that was there. So all those little tricks with the keywords, and it gets your profile out there and all these other places in front of literally millions of people through LinkedIn based on all these factors. So sorry I went on a little long there, but I hope you get the idea. I can't wait to talk to you and debrief on this, because you got it going pretty well here. You're very close. Congratulations.